control yourselves. It's the WILK Friday Beer Buzz 2014 Holiday Spectacular. And, and on the break, while the commercials were playing, we were rehearsing some joyous songs of the holiday season. I don't think this was one of them.
I don't know what that was.
This was not one of
the Charlie Brown song.
Oh, is that what this is? Oh, yeah, now I recognize it. Okay, fine. That was great. We have about 125 people in the studio that holds 7, so we got that going for us right now.
It's like a clown car.
It's hot enough in here to grow orchids today. All right. Lindo Sabatini's here, of course. We're brought to you by Sabatini's. Lindo. Bill from mybeerbuzz.com is here. As always, Mrs. BeerBuzz is here.
Mrs. Bill!
Kyle, our producer, is our stage manager today. My lovely wife, Karen, is here to keep an eye on me because Jake Rattle and Roll, by the way, is in the control room, and we can't see him. There's an awful lot of... you can tell we're taking...
You're looking at a curtain. He's hoping.
Becky Kosadar Krantz from the Krantz Brewing Company. That's right. Amanda's here. Where's Amanda? There's Amanda over there. There's Jim, a.k.a. the WILK, is here as well. Facebook fans know him as Bikini Jim, probably.
Yeah,
I think you can. Carol Zubers, our Director of Special Operations, is here as well. And special guests, and we're going to be getting to our special guests in just a little bit.
Yeah.
But right now, it's back to segment 3. Here we go. And I'm pretty excited about segment 3 because it includes a cookie.
And it's all brought to you by Sabatini's Pizza in Exeter.
Right, you are. But before we get to the cookie and before we get to the beer.
Yes. I don't know if it's the Yule fire on Nancy's screen. I think we have officially hit 170 degrees in the studio.
It feels like it's making it hotter.
Yeah, but you know what's on John's screen?
Yule Log Hotties. I got
it. The Yule Log Hotties on.
If Kyle were in there now, you know what music we'd be hearing.
It's a cultural experience.
So we have a beer question for this segment, and this one makes me a little nervous.
A little nervous?
This question is, and I get asked this quite a bit.
Yeah.
I almost always get asked this question after I've had a beer or two, so this one gets a little tricky. How do you?
I thought you were going to say, "Where's the bathroom?"
Yeah, no, I get asked that all too much.
Oh.
How do you make a beer?
How do you make a beer?
Yeah,
okay.
and so with 2 professional brewers in the room,
yes,
and 1 semi-pro brewer in the room.
WILK.
Who has the scar to prove
it. Yes, he does.
Sorry.
He wrote the book When Carboys Explode.
Several semi-pros in the room.
Yeah.
Sorry, Becky, I forgot.
The answer is not. You go to the fridge.
I thought that was the answer. That's the short answer.
So this is sort of the Reader's Digest condensed version. Right?
All right. Okay.
So you start with grains. Do we know what malted barley is? Do we know what malting means?
Malting.
Malting means they take the grain and they take it until where it actually is just about to sprout. And right as it sprouts, it's like a seed sprouting. Right as it sprouts, they immediately dry it. And that is malted barley. And that's when it's at its best to release sugars. Mm-hmm. So they crush that and they put it into a little tub and they add hot water to it. Uh-huh. And it's sort of like making tea. And you're trying to liberate sugar because yeast loves sugar. Yeast creates alcohol.
Let me back you up for 1 second here. Now, what about those malted milk ball things?
Yeah.
What is that? Does that have anything at all to do with this?
Well, technically, I have no idea.
Technically, no idea. Okay, good.
So,
thank you, Bill.
One of those kids in school,
Thank you, Bill.
Bring up a question that throws you off.
It says malt. What do I?
Google
it was
is your friend.
I will Google that.
Some
other time.
He doesn't want to get rid of hot tub hotties
I'm
or
watching
Yule Tub or whatever.
Yule Log Hotties over here on my computer.
Is that a melted milk? Never mind.
Okay.
So anyway, you sort of soak the grain and that releases the sugar.
Okay.
Then you do what they call sparging. And sparging essentially means to sort of shower the grain bed and rinse it so that you get all the sugars that you can possibly get out of that grain bed.
Uh-huh. Then you wash them out of the grain bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you save that liquid. The grain goes off too, and people use it for farming. People use it for compost. People feed cows with it and livestock and all sorts of things.
They make dog bone things, don't they?
They make dog bones. Yeah. Dog bones, all kinds of good stuff out of that. And I know people that actually make bread out of it as well.
Yeah.
So then you take that liquid that has survived and
you drink it.
And no, you don't drink it yet.
Oh, not yet?
Because now it's sugar water.
A little sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, a little on the sweet side. And it's actually sort of what the brewers would call wort, W-O-R-T.
Okay.
And technically it's not wort at this point because we haven't boiled it. But you boil that.
Yeah.
And through that boil, there are hop additions to balance out the sweetness and the hoppiness. and so that the beer is not like super sweet. And the later the hop additions, the more hops it imparts, the earlier it sort of balances out. So there are flavor hops and aroma hops and all different kinds of things. From there, you take that liquid, it's now wort, and you put it in a fermentation tank.
And then you drink it.
And no, you don't drink it yet.
Not yet, though.
Can you drink it yet?
Not yet.
That's a common
Don't
question in
drink
the
it
brewery.
yet.
Can we drink
Can
it
you
yet?
drink it yet? Is it ready?
No, it's not ready.
Are we there? So then you put it in a fermentation tank and you pitch yeast in it. And the fermentation tanks maintain a really controlled temperature so that they can monitor the fermentation of that wort. The yeast eats the sugar and it makes CO2 and alcohol. And then
is it not true that the yeast, that's actually it's kind of like the waste product?
Yeah,
of the yeast.
it is a byproduct.
So technically speaking, the yeast is pooping.
Yeah.
It's alcohol and fart CO2.
Yeah.
It's alcohol. Okay.
Yeah.
So the yeast is farting.
Happy
then.
holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays to woo you.
There's no poo involved.
All right. I just thought I'd bring us down a notch. That's all.
So then after it ferments, it does one final step, and that's called the bright tank, B-R-I-T-E. And it goes in the bright tank, and two things happen in the bright tank. One is sort of the solids fall out, so
Yeah.
it's sort of a filtration kind of thing going on.
Right.
And it's carbonating, so that when you get the beer has that fizzy head to it and that carbonation to it.
Right.
That happens in the bright tank.
All right. Now let me ask you a question here.
Can you drink it?
So, no, I wasn't.
At this point, you can.
I wasn't going to say that.
The
All right.
answer now is
This
actually yes.
Yeah, but this is 2014, so we know all this is science and it's been known for a long time.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
the ancient Sumerians or something invented beer, right?
Yeah.
So was it by accident? Like they didn't
Yeah.
know all this stuff. Like, hey, well, how about we make the wort and throw it in the bright tank?
They
didn't know that.
It actually was. It was. We did one on the show with the homebrewers. It's called bapir. It was a bread that they accidentally let the bread get wet, and that ended up with sugar. You know, the bread put
And then
sugar into the
somebody who
water.
was really hungry and or thirsty said, "I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat that
birds, one
anyway."
stone.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dare you.
It sounded good. It looked good. It's bread and water. How bad could it be?
All right.
There's you.
And
Yeah.
now back to our show. Where is that coming from?
And Kyle is
Kyle
just acting
slipped
out.
out.
You lug hotties.
He got permission to stay longer from his wife to be.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
so bapir was this really really rock hard bread, and bapir soaked in water. It sugared up the water and wild yeast. I mean, yeast is in the air.
Yeah.
So the yeast
Yeast is
picked
in
it
In
out
the
of
air, everywhere. That's right. Okay.
Da, 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 da.
This show is going downhill fast. I'll tell you right now. Oh, you kids.
The dancing was great.
Oh, I
right.
know.
Oh, did we
Are-
leave
so-
on a step or
so-
something?
All right, so thank you. Good night. Oh,
So
sorry.
So for the pros, it's much easier, right?
I don't know about easier. There's a lot more involved than throwing some bread and some water. but,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in a nutshell, that's the brewing process.
So that's how you make beer. So the reality is, for someone to try it at home, you can do it at home. I mean, it's not an impossibly difficult thing. If you can boil water, you can make beer. The ingredients are easy to get. You can be really, really creative with it. You can, when you're doing 5 gallons versus what you'll see in segment 4, the amount of beer they're doing in a batch.
Yeah.
You can experiment with 5 gallons, and if it goes wrong, you wasted 5 gallons. And you'll see with them, if you experiment with theirs, there's a lot going down the drain.
We dump 5 gallons out of our hoses.
Yeah, they spill more of that when they make a batch
John's
of beer.
crying over here.
I sense a disturbance in the force.
Wait, can he drink it?
Yes, you can. Now you can drink it.
Now you can drink it. The 5-gallon runoff out
Yes.
of the hose. Okay.
So we have a beer here today
Yeah.
for segment 3.
Thought we never get to this, Bill. I'm
Yeah, I know. I don't
thirsty
know what
over here, and I got a
took us
cookie
forever.
screaming its name. I go, come on.
This one comes to us from Richmond, Virginia, from Hardywood Park Craft Brewing Company. You remember we had Brian Nelson on.
I do.
This is a beer that is their perfect score beer, if you want to call it that. It is called Gingerbread Stout.
And let me just tell you that this beer is so. Yeah, there we go. The applause. This beer is so tasty and so delicious that it's probably dangerous.
Yeah. This one is, no, it's only 9.2%.
That's all.
Yeah, no, it's a mild one. This is a sessionable beer.
Yeah, this is a mild at only 9.2.
Your session just ends very quickly.
Gingerbread stout.
Oh my, this is really tasty.
It is, and this one's relatively hoppy. I mean, this is like 55 IBU, so
Yeah.
it's not lost on the hops.
Well, 55 IBU is like a run of the middle. I mean, right down the middle. An IPA is about
can
60,
be, yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely, it can be. And we're pairing this beer. I made gingerbread cookies, and what made
Did you
me
actually made these?
I did.
I
Yeah.
didn't know where
These
they
are
came
very,
from.
very good. Carolyn is very lucky.
Did you make this out of sparge and wart?
Yeah,
or
no,
what did you
no
make this
wort
out
and
of?
sparge involved.
all right.
They had a line in their description of this beer that said that the beer ends with a snap of ginger. So I started thinking
Or a
like,
snap of Mary Ann.
yeah,
Hey.
You
All
always
righty.
like Mary Ann
Let's
better.
move on. Let's move on.
Come
We're
on,
moving
Lovey.
And we're walking, and we're walking.
Lovey.
All right. And now back to our movie. All right. Forget it.
We can't escape it.
No.
Even on a holiday
Sorry,
special.
Bill.
So when I read that line, I thought,
We should do this over 4 days because
we
4 of these
should.
shows back to back is it's a mistake. It
it's
is.
never enough.
And now back to our movie. Okay.
Ho, ho, ho.
It's like Corbett was
You
here.
think the gingerbread's hot?
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, 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 ho. With the ho, never mind.
So this brewery was started by Eric McKay and Patrick Murtaugh, and we had Brian Nelson, their brewmaster, on the air with us about a month ago, 2 months ago. We did their barrel-aged double IPA. Really, really nice beers, and they're really into the craft of the beer, and they're really they say that this beer imparts the Virginia countryside terroir.
Oh my God.
Now
Terroir.
that's a wine word, and we don't like to use wine words in the
Terroir.
room.
Let's make up a word for that.
Beer dirt.
Beer dirt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
We do not want to borrow. We don't want to borrow any. wine.
Yeah,
Beer dirt.
that really just means it picks up the essence of the region that they use. They use locally grown baby ginger. I'm sorry, baby ginger, but baby ginger. Oh, baby Marianne is very happy about that,
Is that Gilligan's?
though. Yeah, they use local honey. They use Madagascar.
Thanks a lot, Gilligan.
They had to import their vanilla beans from Madagascar, and so they get this beer. This is a really, really well-regarded beer. This is a beer people fight over. It's hard to get. You can actually get it where?
At
Yes, Sabatini.
At Sabatini.
How about a nice hand?
So the name.
It really is delicious. It's
It's a-
delicious beer.
It is
And it pairs
fabulous.
nicely with the cookie. So this just shows you that you can do something sweet. It doesn't have to be, sweet and spicy. It doesn't have to be spicy or dull cheese kind of thing. And everybody asks me before we wrap this segment, where does the name come from? These two guys that founded this brewery somehow ended up together on a sheep farm in Australia.
Please don't. You're making
And
me
the
tell
sheep
bad
farm-
jokes. Come on. Not bad.
I was
All right.
setting you up. Don't.
I know
don't,
you were.
you-
I know, but it's like low-hanging fruit, Bill.
Don't patience.
on.
And so they were at the sheep farm that they were at was called Hardywood Park.
Oh, really?
And so when they came back, they decided they were going to name their brewery Hardywood Park Craft Brewing Company. They have a 20-barrel brewing system and a 20-gallon pilot brew system, so they can test things on small batch and then brew them on big batch.
It's excellent.
Small batch.
Small.
And John, how is
How
it?
did I let that go by? It's not. It's pretty good.
How is it?
It's not.
All right. You forced me. You made me do it.
Don't make me sing.
Hardywood Park.
Don't make me sing.
Hardywood Park Craft Brewery Gingerbread Stout. And Bill, let me just say the cookies are outstanding too.
They really are. Can I have another cookie?
All right.
Yeah, there are more cookies. There are more cookies.
Do you know what we have for the next segment?
I don't know, but the next segment is coming up in just a
Yes.
couple of minutes. So we
But
hope
we have a breathalyzer.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
We're going to breathalyze John.
calling my lawyer. We got more to come here on the WILK Friday Beer Buzz 2014 Holiday Spectacular.